Hey, welcome back to Cleftlan Nights, the never-ending gaming story that takes place in many alternate worlds. I'm glad you guys are back, and I hate disclaimers, but all the art I use, music, and are owned by their creators, and the characters are owned by the companies that we use for these stories. We just use them for fun, and so some of the characters we own, so they're ours. So don't take them unless you're using them for fun. Okay, this is for the gaming that took place 6 February. I don't know why I do my fingers up here because you guys will never see that. This is our 53rd episode. This is for the gaming that we did face to face. Some of it's via Google Hangouts, and so where we last left our heroes. So where we last left our heroes in Mifflin, it was still day 2, late in the evening. We last left Christopher Masters, Ray Ingolden, and the 5 Reds. They had saved Diana Olympia and were on the 33rd floor of the Tower of Science in Mifflin. The 5 Reds are made up of Red Blade, Red Guard, Red Siren, Red Rook, and Red Queen. Ray's body had passed out again, and Chris takes the lead, saying to the group, we should go to Hastings via the mirror doors. So they do, and Ray wakes up and sees that they've gone through the mirror doors, and then he goes, well, so now we're in Hastings. Day 2, late in the evening. Upon arriving in Hastings, they all experience possession by the people of the Eye. Yeah, they're in a tower that has over 10,000 of them in an orb on the tower, in the tower ceiling. And so it's like 3 stories up, and they come down and get these people while they're on the floor because the mirror's up there against the wall. The mirror transporter thing. They don't have bodies, but they must possess bodies of humans in order to breed more of their kind. So they need to do this to live on, basically. Upon possessing Christopher, whose power is to possess, Christopher realizes that there is someone already in the body and that he's taken, and he is being forced out, basically, by Christopher. Yeah, I will call the people of the Eye by putting an I in front of their name, because they only have names until they take the name of the person that they're possessing or inhabiting, since they don't have names. So then Chris sees that Diana, Ray, and the Reds are under control by the people of the Eye. Chris possesses Ray and forces Ray to depart the body and head back to the orb. Ray then immediately drops into the elemental plane of water and exits the tower. Christopher from then begins trying to possess the other Reds, expecting to force them out, in which he does first out of Siren, who was closest to Ray, and then Queen, before Blade, Guard, and Rook took off running for their lives. Basically saying them in the control of the bodies, not they haven't left the bodies. Get the idea? All right. The Reds run down the terraces to the docks because it's on a hill, and so they get lower down to the dock side. Ray uses the elemental plane of water and swims out to head off the girls' pier side. He's able to pop up out of the water and stop the last of the 3 which was Blade, and knocks her out with water blast, and she goes and hits the wall. She begins to fight Ray. Yeah, they're pretty endurable, and it's not like Ray took a super shot to kill her or anything. He's usually mostly water powers to defend himself, and she hasn't fought that before. So meanwhile, back at the tower, Chris saves Diana, Queen, and Siren from the eye possession. When they get outside of the tower, then Christopher goes astral, heads to the eye guard, because when he possesses, he can see any other possessor, and he can go to them, only to possessors and other versions of him. And he heads straight to eye guard, and possessing guard, he keeps eye guard inside the body instead of forcing her out, and without anybody to inhabit, it would kill her. Yeah, he's not bloodthirsty. Well, there's no blood. But with both of them in there, though, it's very hard for him to control the body. So he's kind of like stiff and hard to move. Irush continues on running for her life. And Ray tells Eyeblade during the fight to check out her memories of Blade and find out that Reds can't have children, which means Eyeblade would need a different surrogate. So then she attacks Ray. Girl, she's got to have some other body that she can get out of this one in. So we leave that there on that cliffhanger. What's going to happen? And we go to Cleftlan, day 2, late in the evening. As we left our heroes way north of Cleftlan at the inn of the stronghold, Washington's security team had just stabled their animals, mostly like Clydesdale-sized horses and aurochs, and was getting ready for bed down for the night. George was talking to Strath, who runs another security team of all elves. Washington's security team is made up of Alex Prentiss, Brandon Kranova, Hans Kaiser, Ryu Hunyu, I call Ryu, but it's really pronounced you, Alora Clendathu, George Washington, with all these weird names, him, Lorenzo Theory, Mei Lee, and Rune Stone. Strath's security team is made up of Elion Teryari, Fig Dewdrop, Holinor Glynris, Mila Sarkilian, Strathmore, and the brothers Vardane and Varron Idrale. They have realized that the elves have taken up all the other rooms, so they sit at the table waiting for George's next plan. May and Alex outside continue to be on watch of the barn, stable, and warehouse. They're sitting on the roof above lanterns, so it's harder to see them. Most of the team, they decide basically, hey, let's just go to sleep for the night. So they go back to the barn. Sleeps in the loft. And an hour or so later, Alex is attacked by Elion. She shoots an arrow at him, but with his distance control powers, it only goes halfway, mostly because he sees it just in time. Then Alex sees that Strath's elf team is attacking the barn where his team is at. He sends May down to fight the attackers. He yells, "Everybody wake up!" And then he attacks Elion, and that shot him. He flies out to get her, and she's in the tower across the way. Down below in the stable, Brandon shows up out of nowhere via Hans' blood brother Bloodstone, and as the attackers commence melee, he lets out his neuro whips and knocks out Varden. Basically hitting him in the head with the neuro thing, knocks him out. Milla shoots George in the chest by orders of Strath, and Alora fights in melee with Holinor. Alex, like I said, flies over and begins his attack on Elion. He leaves, using his powers, is able to keep her quite literally off her feet as she's going up to the ceiling, distance 0, down to the floor, distance 0, back and forth. And May fights Fig, the other elf girl. So we leave from there when Frank shows up, and we go and play Earth 10.3. So when we last left our heroes, Eclipse heads to Bella De Nico from Tokyo, hoping to drop off Hope, Spaulding, Alex, and Gabriel Summers at the Reno Bryce Institute for schooling them in their powers and also to keep them protected from the government. Quote-unquote protection. Infinity, Pantheon, and Titans continue to attend the wedding reception of Tempest and Rogue. A variety of things are going on. Tempest and Rogue went to the end of time last episode, guys, for their honeymoon, so maybe they'll come back this time. Various members of the teams gather together and fix the St. Croix sisters, which is cool. Now, Guardians are made up of Connor Kent, Laura Kinney, Monet St. Croix, and Prince T'Challa. Infinity is made up of Frank Corso, Hercules, John Jones, Lenya Petrovna, Merlin, Owen Reese, and Zana. Pantheon is made up of Carter Ritz, Gray Ritz, Sam Corso, Tempest Odison, Xander Prentiss, Cindy Moon, Holly Day, Megan Morse, and Rogue. The Titans are made up of Monica Cerbella, Angelica Jones, Billy Batson, Jamie Madrox, Cara Zarell, Peter Parker, and Priscilla Ketien. Then coming from Tokyo, like I said, to the Caribbean island of Bella De Nico, the team Eclipse in their ship Sean. They arrive, after letting Frank and Juno know. Alex, Rachel, Hope, and the Summers boys depart Sean and head to Herc's hideaway. Because he's so upset about the vision of his passed away wife being dead by his own hand, and guilt rises up on him. Hercules is destroying a lot of land, throwing boulders around and all sorts of the rocky terrain behind his hideaway. Frank calms him down because he's got motion control powers. Easy day. Owen, further behind, begins building the landing strip for light planes and jets to fly from and land at. Connor requests of T'Challa, this is inside the Herc's hideaway, that the Monet sisters, Nicole and Claudette, can go live in Wandaca, and he's like, I don't mind. John Jones is informed that the New York City Hellfire Club is being requested to join the ranks of the military up there. Yes, we know that these aircraft carriers are sending people out to get mutants, aliens, and the like to join the ship's company. So, what's all behind all that? Hey, we still got to find out. So, Frank sends John to NYC to handle this situation as Sebastian Shaw, the Black King. Yes, he is also him. Also at the reception, Sam Corso uses choreography sync powers and syncs all of the males to do some sort of line dancing. Traditionally, there is line dancing at weddings, even between Asgardians and Southern Belle mutants. So, Rachel is in pain and voices this, but as they come up to the Herc's hideaway and getting closer to Frank, but Alex presses on. When they get close to Frank, she even begins to scream as Amal Farouk, the Shadow King, who has been possessing the body of Rachel for the last week, he goes about altering her body to look more like her father, so kind of freaking everybody out. Whoa. Well, actually, Frank and Hercules, who haven't seen this before. Farouk wants to, but he can't hurt Frank or any of the Infinity due to the changes that Frank made with the Cosmic Cube. I mean, Outcast made with the changes. Anyways, Hercules attacks Rachel's body, triggering a mental assault on everybody, which is kind of where we last left them. We last left our heroes of Intercept collecting celestial technology from space called Cerebro. They return to their underground lair in southern Florida. Intercept is made up of Andrew Moore, Carol Danvers, Emma Frost, John Irons, Michael Holt, Sarah Pizzini, and Tony Masters. Andrew, John, and Michael work very hard on bringing the celestial tech of Cerebro into their lab. John is feeling horrible that he can't access his suit. Carol, Sarah, and Tony infiltrate the FBI headquarters in Miami, investigating the agents that work for the Celestial Outcast. Yeah, I was saying trying to sound like Tony, but anyways, but then when they pry into his laptop, it blows up, boom, and they escape just in time, mostly because Carol flies them out, seeing that it's happening. At the New York City Hellfire Club on 3rd Avenue, east side of Central Park, John arrives via his teleport chamber into his room. He is pretending to be Sebastian Shaw. And the known Hellfire Club is made up of Sebastian Shaw, Baroness Anastasia Cicerovna, Jonathan Jones, Irene Adler, Cordelia Frost, Lourdes Chantel, Tessa Lovett, Warren Worthington III, Emma Frost, Garfield Logan, Harry Leland, Robert DaCosta, and Lance Fredericks. John sees that there are troops and mutant contractors, probably Morlocks, damn those darn Morlocks, out in front of the Hellfire Club on the street. Hey, so that's it for this week, guys. I'm sorry it can't be longer, but but there's a lot of battle stuff that happened in that one that week, last week. So once I put this out tonight, I'm all caught up. Wow, amazing. So if you have any questions, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like what you heard, leave a like, subscribe. I need more subscribers, 7. And anyways, y'all have happy trails and fair winds and following seas.